Yo, man, I think AD, T-Rell and them, they need to be quiet and charge it to the game because at the end of the day, they were workers who worked for an employer and they kept forgetting that they were workers working for an employer. Now, yes, people like Sharp and AD and T-Rell, over the years, they helped create a certain type of brand, a certain type of image for the No Jumper channel. But they were employees. They were not partnership part owners of anything. They were employees employed by Adam of No Jumper. And where it got misconstrued at was that because they spent all this time together and probably hit a couple chicks together, because Adam 22's slore of a woman was allowed to sleep with some of these guys, right? They thought that they were equal to Adam 22 in regards to the No Jumper channel and the No Jumper podcast. They got out of pocket. And they did not follow the 48 laws of power, right? And they threatened the person who has power over them. They didn't follow the law that goes as this: never outshine your master. So when I'm looking at these No Jumper podcast episodes and you have AD calling out Adam in different scenarios, talking about situations where he was wrong, and people like T-Rell and the rest of them agreeing and going against Adam, making him look bad, making him feel less than, making him upset. And he's telling people, hey, listen, stop saying that. I don't want to speak about that anymore. And they're calling Adam out on his shit. Now, whether Adam was wrong or right, you're trying to outshine your master. You're calling him out on air instead of pulling him to the side when there's nothing going on. You're cracking jokes on your boss, and he's not that type of person. Adam 22, right, is a tender. Adam 22 is extremely sensitive. And you got to understand, he's also the type of person who has this supremacist way about him. Even if he likes hip-hop culture, even if he employed Mexicans and black people, he has this supremacist thing about him. And that was easy enough to tell when he had that episode where he had the Destiny guy and the other Caucasian guy, and they were just sitting there just talking about black people and hot sauce and just things that supremacist minded Caucasian people speak about behind closed doors that are not supposed to be spoken about on air. And when you see those kind of conversations be had on air, then you know behind closed doors, those same type of people are telling him, hey, listen, you're the warden of this facility. Why are you letting your inmates and workers think that they're so important? Why are you letting them call shots or think that they can call shots? And when I seen that episode where he had Destiny and the other, Caucasian boy there, I knew that that was the beginning of the end. I knew that was the beginning of the end. And then he hires Flacco. Flacco has all of these, pro-black people coming on the show. People who, aside the fact that Flacco is inviting them there, they would have not so nice things to say about No Jumper based off of the way that he moves. Based off of the things that he says, based off of the things that he's done, been accused of doing in the past. And, you have to understand that Adam 22, who is the creator of the No Jumper podcast, made himself a billionaire. He's a self-made millionaire. He was not going to lose his power over his channel by giving too much power to people who are not him. And if you ask me, he has a right to do that. So people like AD and T-Rell, they get upset when Adam says, hey, listen, I'm running a business. Business-wise, I may want to remove AD from the Tuesday show and put him somewhere else. You're a worker. You work for him. He gave you a different assignment, AD. Your boss, your employer. It doesn't matter how many viral moments you had on the channel. Doesn't matter. He's your boss. Your boss telling you, listen, I'm giving you a different assignment. It's that simple. It's that simple. We don't want to talk about loyalty and none of that other stuff. You thought because y'all had some kind of friendship that when it's all said and done, business-wise, he wasn't going to treat you like an employer. You're an employer. And yes, maybe he does have this ingrown supremacist ideology, maybe. Maybe he never viewed you as equals. Was he supposed to? He's running a business. He wanted to draw a certain type of audience, so he hired a certain type of people. But look at what the No Jumper show has become. He used to just go viral for having interesting conversations with up-and-coming artists and things of that nature. And instead, all of his viral moments are you niggas acting ghetto and ratchet on the No Jumper podcast, bringing down the quality of his podcast. And you think he's wrong for trying to alter things around and separate people, and you guys are trying to outshine the master, and you're forgetting that above all else, you're an employee. I personally feel like in this scenario, AD should shut up. You have not been wronged. You have not been wronged. Your problem is you thought you were more important and more valuable than you actually were. AD could get another gang member that's willing to fight anybody every different single day of the damn year on his podcast if he wants. With Sharp has a particular personality, but if it was that serious, he could get another argumentative man in that particular trade that Sharp is in, because I don't know if I can say that word for YouTube, on his podcast. He could get more gang members on his podcast that know how to have a cool conversation, that know how to chop it up like they're in the barbershop. That's what black people do all day. We chop it up. We crack jokes. You know what I'm saying? And then when you got Lush getting out of pocket, forgetting that he's an employee, revealing company secrets on Discord. Like, all of you people have forgotten that y'all are workers. Workers. Entitled, disgruntled employees. That's what all of these guys were. And Adam 22 had to remind these dudes, you work for me. You work for me. I do what I want. I'll fire you. I'll send you home live on air. I'll give you another assignment because I am Adam 22 and I am the boss. Somehow, some way, AD and the rest of these guys forgot about that. Peace.